Hello, family. How are you? I'm Tavise Mwajana and I'm a spiritual medium. Most of you are doing great, and I'm glad that the teachings are helping you to think much more better about your life and the direction of your life. And that gives me a whole lot of pleasure doing this job. Now, today we are going to be talking about my favorite topic of all time, money. Money, right? But we are going to be talking about one particular type of money, and that is money that gets to be circulated in clubs. Ne? Is the circulation or the movement of money from one person to the other. And we are going to be talking about money as an energy, um, or as an extension of your own personal energy. So, I'm really not going to be very popular after today's topic, but that is fine. I'm really after the teaching more than the popularity. I love it when you love me, but if it happens that you don't, then that's fine. um, we are going to be talking particularly about stockfels. So, what are stockfels? If you are in South Africa, you will understand that there is a term called stockfels. Stockfels are clubs, many clubs. We grew up. We grew up in South Africa, which is my native land of birth. That's where I was born. That's where I'm based until I find something that will make me to be based in Dubai. But let's focus. That's still something that has to do with a lot of money. Stockfels are groups. They're groups where people come together for a purpose, a common purpose of collecting money, uplifting each other. Some people would have different types of stockfels. Now you would have the grocery stockfels. What happens is that people would put up a sum of money, collect a fixed amount of money, and then put it in a kitty, in a bank, um, and then at some point they will then share the proceeds of the money, or they will then buy the groceries, and share. Usually this worked around Christmas time, November, December, at this time when I'm doing the recording. So that is why I thought that it's important that we talk about the dynamics of shared money, or money that is being circulated around a group. So at this point, there's a high peak of stockfels. At this point, when you don't have a stockfel, now where you feel it like, ooh, other people are getting 12 braai packs. Braai packs are pieces of chicken that are put in 5 kgs, just in case you are in another side of the world. Um, and people would share. So the groceries would last people to the following year up until March or April, depending on how you use it. And these are really good. The essence of these groups is really coming from a good place. Then you would have savings club, where people, instead of them having an investment account or a savings account, they will have one with the people that they know, people in your street, people at work, people, even in your family. You would then start to to have this particular club where we collect a fixed amount of money and we put it there. Or these days they say however much you want to save, and at some point in your life, at the end of the year, we would then share the money. Then there are burial societies, which is another type of a stockfel. Burial society, in normally in black communities, the cost of having a burial used to be so much. It used to be so much that, death is something that you don't prepare for. Suddenly it is, in your family, and you do not have money to bury a loved one. And so now we are making future investments to say this particular stockfel burial society would help with the coffin, will help with all the big things, all the logistics around having having a funeral and dealing with the funeral cost. And then you will have investment clubs where people are putting in large amounts of money. We would be giving each other 300,000 rands so that we can buy a house or whatever, you know. Yeah, if I was pro stockvels, that's the one I would get into. Large monies, 300,000 rands. Butu. Then you would have the social clubs. So the social clubs really, in essence, is the very same thing that our great grandfathers have been doing, our grandmothers, our mothers have been doing. But then the young ones will just have it as a, like, no, we are, cultivating the spirit of meeting with the people that you grew up with. We talk about this thing. Perhaps some of them, they even have a theme. They would even have a theme of the social club, the book reading social club, but there would still be a certain amount of money that gets to be circulated among people, or it could even incorporate the investment, the savings, the burial. So, but we just, young people would now call it the social club because it's much more nicer than society. Then you would have the borrowing stockvels where there is a pool of money and then other people will just borrow the money, and then there would be some sort of an interest that you are paying. I'm just thinking about it's interesting how much I now that I'm trying to explain to you how much I know about stockvels. Yeah. Um Now, why am I talking about this thing today? We try to pray you into prosperity, right? We use the connection from your own ancestors and we calculate your aura, we calculate what it is that your own self can do for your future self. So it is everything that is all encompassed in your own energy, right? And the finances come from your own energy. Let's take, for example, let's talk about money and an agreement around money. Ne? Let's use the biblical reference of Joseph and the brothers. So Joseph, if you don't know anything about the Bible, that's okay. Joseph was this character that was very much loved by his father, and he was one of 12 siblings, 12 boys. Ooh, the mother, 12 boys there, and Joseph was the favorite, and he had a gift, and he could have these beautiful dreams, and the father liked him so much, and made a beautiful jacket for him to the colors like this. They explain it like the rainbow in the Bible. And then the brothers decided, no man, they agreed, and they then decided to sell Joseph to become a slave, right? For 300 shillings, they sold him for. Same amount that Jesus was sold by Judas to the enemy, to the Pharisees, so that they can persecute him. So we can then agree that the circulation on money, it can also have a spiritual point to it. That Joseph was sold for spiritual reasons, Not that the brothers really needed the 300 shillings, but they were selling him as his aura, as what he stood for in spirituality. And then they sold him off. They made an exchange of money. Even with Jesus, let us take out our views about where Jesus is from and whether there's Jesus or not. But I'm just using a very common example that we know. So even Jesus, he was sold off. And then there's the term of you are selling your soul to the devil. Ne? And now we are in the understanding of passing around money. Now, I have a blessing of money. This is how you would read my aura. I have a blessing of money. I can speak money into another person. That's my money here. Then I also have an aura of stagnancy. Everything that I try to do with my money, it just doesn't work. Every time I plan to buy this gold mirror behind me, I can never get to it. I can plan and plan, but at the time where I need to go and buy this thing, then something happens to my money. I'm unable to afford it. That's my aura. And I have a spirit that really attacks my hands. Whatever I try to do with money, it will not stick on me. It will just not stick. Me and money, we don't have a good relationship. My hands, they have a spring. Every time I try to touch money, it will not come. I need a job. I have stagnancy. Anytime I try to do anything around my income, stream of income, money will just not come to me because something is happening between my hands and the money that I'm unable to have money myself. Now, we are three characters and we are in a stockvel. And money is an extension of somebody's energy. And the blessed one and the one that does not know what happens to their money and the one that really is just attacked, that they just don't have money, are in one club. And they keep on circulating this energy over and over again. Now, if we use the law of collective thinking, once we converge with the same common goal, something binds us together. So now you have these three people in one club, and they keep on circulating each other's energy, right? So meaning, in order for you to be in any agreement with anybody, you have to understand their spiritual identity in relation to what we are agreeing on. So somebody needs to know which of these people are you, in order for them to get into any kind of an agreement with you in relation to finances, right? And so, if somebody does not know, are they then safe to get into an arrangement with you? If you are the first guy and you have the beautiful aura, you are a money magnet, everything comes to me effortlessly. When I touch money, it comes with ease. I speak prosperity into my life and it shall follow me. That's you. Then you are the good guy. I can bet on this guy. I would really want to be with them. But this guy can easily be affected by this guy. Both of them can easily be affected by this person, depending on where the strongest vibration comes from. They are all looking alike. So which one are you? In a group of 12, birthday stockvel. January, I'm having a birthday. February, I'm having a birthday. Which one of these people are you? So my point is that many of you come through consultations and we pray and we do rituals and we send libations and we do everything for you. We align you with your ancestors, and people would still say, but my finances, Gogo. And sometimes it just comes out very clearly in a reading that we are circulating money with people that don't have a good hand, that don't have a good intention. And some people are just really bad spiritual people. They are just witches, and you are in witches, in a group with witches, and they would want to get your things, and you do not know the spiritual identity of the people that you are converging with and constantly circulating your own energy with. So then you would find that the first guy's luck starts to be tainted. It goes through stages. I have it, Gogo. I know I have 100 rands, but I don't know what happens to my money because now this person has taken into effect. The second one that does not know what happens. Then, I get 300 rands from my people, from the group, but I never, these days, I do not know at all, even though I know I'm making money, but my money goes somewhere else. So the third guy has completely taken you over. Who are you now? Which one are you in a stockvel? Because money is an energy. And the basic principle, let's think about it. You come here, you are in a consultation, and My things are not working well. They like to say so. My things are not working well. Directly translated, loose translation. Um, I'm in stagnancy. I'm planning and I'm unable to achieve my goals. I do not know where I am spiritually. I am just at a crossroad. My things are just not working out well for me. Ne? And so we then say, oh, okay, so you require a job. I do that and do that and do that. The minute somebody gives you a spiritual assignment for you to do in order to activate something in your finances, you are already in a spiritual thing with your money. We are already trying to bring about the energy of your money. So you get into the job. When you get into the job, you also get into the stockvel at the job. But how you got into the job was because of a certain spiritual energy, a certain spiritual pull that is going to make this thing land in your hand. And when it has landed in your hand and you sign a contract and they say, Miss Mochana, you are going to be getting 100 rands per annum. This is your cost to company. Are you happy with it? And you say, yes, I'm happy. You send me a message, Coco, I started on Monday and I celebrate. Oh, I love it when people get jobs. I love it. Especially praying for a job in this economy. I think all spiritualists are really challenged, but we do what we're given provision to do, right? Then we are in a mood. We celebrate you and it's all beautiful. And then you get into a stock fell and you meet this guy. Gogo, I'm in the job. I don't even know what I'm doing with the man. Why does it affect you? Because you got in there by a certain energy of your own ancestors. And now you are meeting people that you do not know financially, you do not know spiritually. You don't know who they are. You only know their personal number at the most or ID number. And that's the level of detail that you would make an agreement because you know this person by their identity. What do we call them? When we are getting this money from 1985%, ID number person, it's how we identify them. Everything about their being gets to be in this money, the identification. So why not do the spiritual identification of the people that you are circulating around your money with? And I'm really not to an extent anti stockfels. Stockfels they're coming from a good point that at those times black people just did not have the right savings account, did not have the right money. Some of them, they didn't have the correct jobs for them to have a bank account. You are selling beer at the street, you are selling corn, sometimes you're even a corn artist. That's how you get your money. And then you steal other people's money, and then we are in a social club with you. My friend, you are risking. Hey, you are risking. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway, but you understand that even how you get your money, it's an extension of who you are. And then you are giving me your money, and I don't know how you get your money. Ne? You see it. For example, I'm a spiritual person, so I get my money from you. Well, not really, but let's use that. Yeah, some people say, Gogo, you must not do that in my consultation. I pay you. Lala, you are unprofessional and we pay you. Hey, client, you can never afford what I do. Most people can never afford what we do as spiritual people. So you do not pay us. What you do is that you buy the candle, ne, that we can see along your path. Ne? You don't pay us. Ne? You don't pay us. But anyway, let's pretend you are paying us. And maybe you are paying us. Yes, you are paying us. But you are buying into the energy. You are buying into the energy of the gift. You are buying into the network from your ancestors to my ancestors. And together, in unison, we are going to work towards a certain outcome. That is what the 300 rands or the 500 rands is doing. It's a transaction now. We are transacting in our own energies because you believe that I have good energy that will bless your life. Imagine if I didn't have good energy and I'm cursing your life, and you do not know spiritually who am I. And that is why when we take you to the river, we then say, take your coins and throw them yourself. Speak to your own money and then speak to the power that is giving this ministry to a power, that is fueling it. So that when you say, Madlozi, thank you for washing off our negative energy, and then you give a coin to invest in that power and you speak it with your own hand, with your own energy, so that even after giving me your money of praying for the cleansings, of paying for the cleansings, you still have an influence to the outcome, because now you spoke to it with your own energy and you invested it in the water or in the energy that is supposed to be purifying us, you yourself. So many people are doing these things, and we find we can't take you out of the bad financial situation that you are in. So you need to know. Somebody would say, but Gogo, now that I'm in it, what do I do? It's November. You are getting your proceeds either at the end of the month or December. In January, make wiser decisions. Ne? The same goes to people who at work they would be some other time I had a consultation with somebody, and I could just see them eating. What are you eating at work? What are you buying and eating at work? And she's like, no, I don't know. I buy lunch from the canteen. I'm like, it's not lunch from the canteen. There's acha. You are buying acha at work. Why are you buying acha at work? And she's like, yo, Coco, I love that acha. I'm obsessed. Hey, we can't we? And I'm not speaking against people that are selling acha at work. Ne? I'm not trying to crumple your business. That's not what I'm doing. But we know that as a business person, there is a certain energy that you get to tap into so that people can find your aura enough to transact with. And some people will go to very, very extremes, serious extremes, negative extremes, in order for people to buy. Sometimes colleagues don't like each other, and they're not supposed to. It's a place of work. People come with all sorts of things so that they can remain relevant in their positions, relevant at work. And when you come there, you've only bathed with Dove, you've bathed with Palmolive, and you are going to do a blind spiritual transaction with other people. You are going to consume food that you do not know how it was, how it was declared that this business shall stand. Ne? It tailor beyond this business, so to put it lightly. So let's be careful. I'm really not anti your collaborative schemes, but in the Bible there's a quote that says, where two or three are gathered in my name, I'm in their midst. So when two or three are gathered in the name of money, something is in their midst. What is this thing? What is it? Now, there are certain people who would go to other people who are disguised as healers, and they will say, I'm going to send you something to call money. Ama boys, they call them ama boys, or reds that will bring money. Yeah, hey, guys, hey, we live in a different world, eh? Hey, Africa, it's a very serious continent. It's a melting pot of all things. But let's pretend these things really work, or let's assume. I do not know. I don't know what. I only hear about these things and the Ama boys. But where do these people send the Ama boys, the Reds? Where are these things supposed to be getting us money from? Because now you thinking you are giving me a South African 100 rand, but in spirit, you are giving a whole lot more. The other one fell. You are giving in a whole lot more. You've already opened a gap for me to come and take from you. So let's be careful. Let's be careful. Know your people. Know your people. And it's very difficult to know your people. Even Jesus, he found out very harshly that his people did not even know him. T.D. Jakes explains it, and he says, what did the people say? And the others said, they said, thou art the Messiah, thou art Emmanuel, thou art the Savior. And then he said, as the disciples, Amajan Sahar, the people that he hangs around with every day, they eat sparkle, they eat acha together, they eat all these other things. You know, they eat sushi. They get beautiful hake there from Simon Peter, from straight from the sea, fresh. Every day they're converging and they're eating, they're consuming food. Every day he expects these people to know him. And then he asks, but what did you say? Who did you say I am? The lights go off. And only one guy says, thou art. Thou art. Only Peter knows the spiritual identity of Jesus. And TDJ says, when you are converging with people and they spiritually know who you are, then you've done better. You've done just as good as Jesus. Because when he explains that, he says, it is the silence of the 11 that bothers me. That 11 people every day they're eating there. The hake is juicy today. Simon Peter, no, Bon, it's good. Then you have Luke there. You know, they say Luke was a herbalist. I'm sure he just puts sage and rosemary. I'm sure he was really a healing herbalist like most of us, but I would imagine that when they're having their fish braai there, you know, he can also, yeah, like no, Luke, Bon, you are good. But these people are friends. These people are together all the time, but when it comes to the crunch, we don't know who we are spiritually together. And one of you would then say, Gogo, what do we do? I'm already in too deep. Find somebody to cleanse you. Do your money rituals. Wash your hands constantly. And some of you are going to ask me this weird question, and I rebuke the devil from trying to encourage you to ask me this question. Gogo, what if we are transacting electronically? Please do not ask me. Please do not take the Jesus out of me and ask me that question, because it is an energy. And energy knows no bounds. It knows no tool. It knows no what can we call it? It can't be confined to anything. Ne? We've done science. Can't be confined. So you are getting employed. It's coming into your to your bank account. The employer is thanking your energy through the bank account. It's just a means to transfer an energy. And then you are going to ask me, I promise you, you are going to ask me this. Stru's Bob, as true as God. That's what Stru's Bob means. As true as God, you are going to ask me, what if you are transacting via EFT? We do not touch the money. May the good Lord be with you. May you make wiser decisions. May at all time know who you are. May at all time know who they are before you start converging with people. The same goes to people who like to pray at work. When we meet at work, 6 a.m., we're starting the prayer. Who are the people that you are praying with? What was their prayers when you met with them? You know, before you met with them, what was their prayers? What are their prayers after converging with you? May you always trust that you can do with what you are given. Ne? If you signed a contract to earn 100 rands per annum, that is where you are. Paul says to the Philippians, I have known what is to have and I've known what is not to have. But in all circumstances, I've learned to be content. Be content with what you have. Let what you have work for you. Let your own energy be contained to work for you. Thank you so much for coming through to the channel. My name is Nthabiseng and I'm a spiritual medium. I love you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you've done. Constantly cleanse your energy. That's how you do certain things. And you get them right in this world of good and bad people. Thank you.